All right, it's Sunday, July 20th, and we are back with a new indie to talk about. We had one Christopher Rhodes reached out to us and asked if we would be interested in reviewing his indie. And we said yes. So, this is a comic book series that is written by Christopher Rhodes. It's got some pencil and ink and colorist work done by Marcos Lima. I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. Some coloring done by Sal
Monaco.
Thank you. I can't read my handwriting because, it's horrible. And Buddy Baudouin. Thank you.
Or Baudin.
As a letter.
I don't know.
And then we got some variant covers that were done by one Lane Lloyd. So,
hey, you got that one.
Thanks a lot. So, I think a little background is needed for this because this is a 5-issue story arc. And the premise of the story is that aliens have come down and they have deemed that we can have 10 people who can have superpowers. And it's, I guess, I feel like there wasn't a lot of work done to express who got elected to get superpowers, because it didn't seem like it was necessary. It seemed like it was based off of countries. Yeah. But at the same time, I wasn't really sure how that actually worked. I know that on one issue, they explained how one girl got elected, but I feel like that was really it. So, nonetheless, there's a lot of political themes within this book, and so I feel like that's needed to say up front, and that it makes sense because Christopher himself is a lecturer on politics. So that would be a lot of his background and why he would write this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like that needed to be said before really diving into give our opinions and our views on this piece of work. But the story's called 10. The first issue is 5 years later, chapter 1. It's called Resignation. And this deals with, first we get the origin of the aliens and all that jazz. And we get to meet this Navy pilot by the name of Brian Johnson, whose superhero name is Peacekeeper. And it deals a lot with him kind of controlling crowds and his stance that he has with the military, but also there's some shady shit that's going on in the background as well, and dealing with a little bit of civil rights things in this issue. So, Jeremy, what was your whelming of this first issue?
I will say I was whelmed with this one. It was a little, and it's kind of I think going to be a little bit of a theme for me on throughout the book, is they seem choppy. It seemed like some of the things didn't necessarily flow very well, and I just some of the scenes that kind of cut. One of the first ones that kind of threw me off was the whole, whenever he's talking to the military, the military men, and there's somebody there that brought a gun and was trying to shoot everybody up and stuff like that. And I don't know, it just seemed like there was something missing in that, and it just didn't. So there were, throughout several of these, it just seems like there are areas where there could have been a little bit more to it. Yeah. So like I said, overall, just kind of whelmed with it, and we can kind of, I guess, get more into it as we go.
Yeah. Richard?
I had the opposite take. I wrote I was pleasantly whelmed. I thought this was a well done first issue. It did what it needed to do, which was kind of catch you up to speed with everything in this world. And I thought they did a really good job of hey, here's aliens came down. They call themselves the benefactors. They gave everybody powers. Here's one of the guys. They show like a slight glimpse of one of the other heroes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I thought it had a nice little twist. If anything, my one complaint is I would like to have seen the answer to that twist at the end of this issue in one of the later issues. But I get it. Maybe he's wanting to do that in another volume.
Yeah, another story arc.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Yeah, I was whelmed with it. I think it does do what needs to be done. You get the origin for the most part. I think there could be a little bit more added to that just to make it more clear. And you get the gist of like Peacekeeper and his powers and what he's there for and all that. For me, though, it's more of like I'm not the audience for the story. And that's why I felt really disconnected or just didn't care, because I was like, this is not wrote for me. So that's why I was kind of like halfway in, halfway out of it. I think the artwork overall is pretty good. And yeah, the storytelling is fine. Like there's nothing, I don't have anything wrong with it. It's just
Yeah. Jeremy, I do have I didn't find it choppy at all. I thought it was really easy to follow everything that was going on in this, especially this first issue. Now, I'll give you one of the issues I thought was a little choppy, but this one I thought was fine. I thought it was interesting. So I would love to know, I wish we could have the creator on here, just because I would love to know why he chose, since everybody knows who Peacekeeper is.
Yeah.
The entire world knows who Peacekeeper is. Why does Peacekeeper wear kind of like a Spider-Man mask? He covers his entire face. And I would love to know the design choice there. Did he just think it was cool? I don't know. I'm very curious to know why he did that.
It's to keep his face from getting chapped when he's flying.
I mean, that is a valid reason. Keep the bugs out of your mouth and everything else.
Yeah. I'm going with that because it makes the most sense.
Well, yeah. And I mean, that kind of goes even with one of the characters in the later issues, and kind of why he talks about wearing the mask thing.
The Kendo mask.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, everybody in the world's going to know who these 10 people are. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that out of all the people, well, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's on issue 3. We'll get into that when we get into that.
Yeah.
I liked the quote unquote setup with all this. I thought that was really cool. So they set up this whole, basically, I think they almost have their version of the Sokovia Accords going on here.
Okay.
So they are voting whether or not Peacekeeper can what's the word I'm looking for? Superhero in his own country, America. And 2 senators are going to vote on that, and then they go missing. And then we find out that it's this group, and they are going to send Peacekeeper in, even though it's technically against the whatever. I don't know. I can't. What do they call it? What is it? Let me find it. I'm sorry.
Demarest.
Yes, that's it. The Demarest Act, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah.
And some people, a group, an organization, whatever it may be, has kidnapped them, and they need Peacekeeper. That's going to happen a lot because it is too close to Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Peacekeeper is they're like, hey, we're going to send you in undercover so you can get these 2 senators and capture the bad guys, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes to shit because there was a masked gunman that, unbeknownst to him, and I like how it shows his powers there, where we almost get a slow-mo of the bullets whizzing past him, and he goes and catches all of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming this is all done while super speeding. He tanks all the bullets that were going to hit the politicians. And then he spots a drone up top, which I thought was a nice little twist. and he just flies, and a missile gets fired, and he just tanks that and takes out the drone. And I thought it was a great way to show his powers, what kind of what level he's at as far as like power level goes. Is he like a Superman, or is he more like whatever, a Batman, whatever it may be?
Yeah.
And I love the twist of it being like, oh, it was a setup from like the US government to I'm assuming to take out these two senators and make it look like it was peacekeepers like fault.
Right.
Kind of like in I can't believe I'm actually referencing this, but kind of like in BVS with Superman. And I thought that was a cool twist. And I assumed it was the other two senators, because one of I kind of skipped over that. One of the senators is a wife to the director of Homeland Security. And it's kind of revealed that he was the one behind all this like shady espionage kind of setup for Peacekeeper. But then the final twist is that the other woman, Martha, was actually behind it all.
Yeah.
And I wrote my note. I was like, oh, Martha, you bitch. Because if you go back and look at those panels, the senator's wife, who's like the redhead, she is looking like, the way she's drawn to me is she looks like, hurry up and get this over with kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Martha genuinely looks terrified. So I was like, oh, they're clearly in on it, especially when you see her husband, where he's making sure like it's all going to go down the way he thought it was. But then the reveal that Martha was behind it all, I was like, okay, that's a cool hook. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
That was a cool hook.
Yeah. No, it's definitely interesting. But like you said earlier, there's no real payoff in this story arc. They leave it open-ended. We get a little bit more in the next issue about it, but then I don't feel like it's touched on again until the final issue of the story arc.
Yeah, they don't really touch on anything. It's just more like each issue is kind of just setting up like certain members of the 10, and then the last issue is just how like they came together and then how they split apart.
Yeah. I will say that, like, they were trying to touch on race in this issue. And why I would like more context on the character of Brian is because he is, African American.
Yes.
And I just want to know, like, how he was elected of the 10. Because, like, if we're trying to sit there and talk about the race and all that other jazz, like, I want to know how he was elected, though. That's kind of my thing.
I think he's like a fighter pilot or something. I forget what he is.
Navy. Yeah, he's
Navy.
Well, yeah, I think it's Navy.
Yeah,
he's military.
Yeah. I think they don't ever give you the context, which I do agree. I'm assuming he was going to flush all that out in later issues. I would assume so.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think this gets you up to speed. Like I said, it's like, hey, the world voted. Here's all the 10 people, and they got powers from aliens, which is a little bit immortal, or not immortals, Eternals. And like, even at the very end, one of the like words that he uses for the program is called like it's like Greek for immortals or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I feel like he was trying to do an homage. I don't think it was straight up like aping off of it, but I do think it was intentional. But that was very like, okay, like I wasn't a big fan of the origin of their powers.
Yeah.
And I do wish that, like, in this being the first 5, I wish he would have explained, given a little bit more of like everybody's powers. We only didn't get all of them. We got a few of them.
Yeah.
and then like they come in, and I mean, I guess this is more towards the last issue, but like they're all coming together, and then some of the things that are happening, like I'm like, I wish I knew what that person, like their
Yeah.
full power set was, so
Yeah.
that I really knew what's going on here.
I do agree. I do agree with that because like most of the people seem like they just had telekinesis or something.
Yeah.
Or not telekinesis, telepathy.
Telepathy. Yeah.
And it was a bit like redundant, I thought, but
Yeah.
I did the powers that we did get to see used were pretty cool, I thought. Were cool and inventive in a way that I haven't really seen.
Yeah.
I do think they all have telepathy. I think
Yeah,
that's
they
one
do.
thing that they all share. And certain ones, though, as we see moving on, can do more with their telepathy than like have learned how to harness more of it
Right.
than others.
Yeah. I'm referring to basically I think it's Kiyoshi, the Kendo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
Streamline.
Streamline, and there was one other person that I can't remember. It's in the 5th issue that had some kind of like psychic powers.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know
I
what it
think I
was.
have a note of them when we get to that. But yeah, I was just like, is everybody like I understand that they have like this weird psychic link that they can like meet in the mindscape and they all have like Power Ranger colors and they can communicate with one another no matter where they are in the world, which again is very Eternals. And I just was like, okay, but like who does what here?
Yeah. So is that what this is when they're in the little purple area? Is that like is he talking to somebody else? That's
Yeah.
one of the 10?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Yeah.
Like absolutely
Whenever there's
completely missed that.
when his eyes, he's laying in bed and his eyes are glowing, and then there
Yes.
is a square box which is usually indicating of like either narration or thought.
Yes.
And they do an okay job. I think they should make the colors more vibrant, but each box has a different, well, not each box, but like his thoughts are, I believe, blue, and her thoughts are like a greenish color.
Mm.
And that's him talking with who I'm assuming, because I made a whole character list, is Wanjiku, I think, which is
Yes.
somebody from Kenya, East Africa.
Gotcha.
And then I think we see her in the 5th issue, but there's
Yeah.
not much mentioned about like what her superpower name is, what her powers are, or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole panel, that all lost me. That whole the dialogue, everything there lost me.
Really? Because like she says something about like, hey, yeah, my mental projection. Because he's like, I forget what it is, but she says something about he makes a comment about her having on like bunny slippers.
Right.
And then she's like, well, when I mentally project my image or whatever, I
Yeah.
like to be comfortable or something like that. Which
Yeah.
that immediately clued me in on this is like some kind of mindscape or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Nah. Cool. Let's move on to issue 2 then, titled Serenity. And this introduces us
Scrutiny.
to, I'm sorry?
It was Scrutiny.
Scrutiny, because again, I
You're
cannot
scrutinizing
read my freaking writing. What were you saying, Jeremy?
I was saying he was scrutinizing your
My reading
Yeah.
or lack thereof. Apologies. Scrutiny. Issue 2. We get introduced to the character Leticia Ferreira, and she goes by the code name Iris. And she looks like she's a social media tech mogul.
She is, yeah, like a billionaire that owns her own like broadcasting network. And
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Which I don't know, like that's another one of like why you would pick that one, because I mean obviously Marvel's already shown billionaire superheroes are kind of like off the handle sometimes. So
yeah, I agree. I was wondering, I was like, that's an interesting choice. It's like, hey, she runs essentially like a news network for, I'm assuming, because in this in Brazil, I want to say,
Yes.
and I'm assuming it's for all of like South America in that area. And I don't know. Christopher, we're dumb Americans. We don't get out much. So I don't know how the rest of the news network works as far as South America. But anyway, it was still cool to see that like she uses her influence. But the thing that I didn't like, actually, I'm skipping over my whelming. I'm just going to get into my whelming real quick.
Yeah.
I wrote I was whelmed on this one. I like this character because she is a bit morally gray. I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Though this one was hard to read due to some of the like how I've never been to Brazil. So some of the font was really hard for me since I'm dyslexic and whatnot. And it was like, okay, what is this? Okay. Oh, like I had to do a lot of like typing out that word into Google and then having Google autocorrect me.
Which
so much homework.
Yes.
Which in this one, I was like, I didn't understand why he put the little like brackets on each side of every time they were talking.
Oh, that is we as seasoned comic book readers have failed you, Jeremy. That is usually a staple. When you see those brackets, those are usually meaning that this is in a different language. This is not in English.
Well, it ain't in English there, Jeremy.
Yeah. I mean, like, there was something that kind of, I guess, kind of made me wonder. Like, I didn't know. It was another one of those, because you were talking about the telepathy and stuff like that. And we had kind of gotten introduced to that a little bit in that first issue. So there's part of me that was like, are these both of these, like, are both these people in this, like,
Mindscape?
telepathic?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the correct phrasing.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that kind of threw me off there for a minute, but yes, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Typically, and I think he wrote in like a bottom.
Yeah, that little
somewhere.
Yellow. It was at the beginning. It says translated from Portuguese. But I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't know that meant like the whole thing.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm trying to think. Sometimes, like in a Superman comic, when he speaks Kryptonian, sometimes they won't translate it, and it's just Kryptonian like glyphs, so it just looks like gobbledygook to us. And then sometimes they will translate it, and it'll have those little brackets, and then it'll be in English, and it's implying that he is speaking a different language, but this is translated so you, the reader, can understand what he's saying.
Yeah. Okay. But to give my whelming on this one, I was probably still around the same, like, whelmed. I was probably getting a little closer to pleasantly whelmed. I don't know. It just I enjoyed this for the most part. Kind of like what you were saying, Richard. Like, I liked her kind of snarkiness a little bit. The way though, like, again, I didn't fully understand her power set, like everything, but like, so I was a little frustrated with that because there were a slight knock on the artwork is like some of the ways that she was drawn. I almost wondered if she had like a little bit of like the Mr. Fantastic Elastic stuff going on. Just the way some of the ways that she was drawn a little bit at first.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it, but it's just
I think I know what you're. Are you talking about like when she's like kicking out of a door and stuff like that? Like these weird like upward kicks?
Yeah. Yeah, she's coming out of the door and like I don't know, I get what they were going for. Just some of the like proportions are a little off, so it kind of threw me off a little bit.
I forgot to mention in issue 1, the variant artist Lane Lloyd, I think, that variant cover. Yes. I really enjoy that variant cover art. I low key kind of wish the whole art was done in that style,
in that format.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been necessarily appropriate because it's more cartoony, I guess.
Yes,
but I dug it way more than the other art. I
think art overall is pretty good. Like, I know a lot of times when I say but a lot of times when you'll get these indie books, like the art kind of sometimes is like, like,
yeah,
because it's just hard to find like people, you can sit there and actually work with to do like good, decent art and stuff like that. But I feel like this art style works really well for the story they're telling.
Yeah, it does. It reminds me a lot of The Boys. Like
Oh,
the
really?
comic. Yeah, the comic book The Boys, the art is very much like this.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna say I was like, I was bored with this one, honestly. Like up and like I'm being real. Like I was bored with this. Like I liked her snarkiness and stuff. I like the snarkiness and whatnot like that, and I like the gadgetry that she had. But it wasn't until like she put the noise canceling headphones on to like beat their asses that I was like, okay, cool. Like this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, I was just, and then I guess this guy got stabbed in the ear with a pencil.
Yeah.
I was like, he went straight up John Wick on this dude, but like didn't follow through because that guy just kind of like held his arm and was like, shoot this fucker.
Yeah. I wrote that. I was like, ow, right in the ear. Jesus. I think they were trying to establish like some of the 10 aren't necessarily all like, Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Especially her, because like at the very end, she does something that I'm like, look, I know these were bad people, but like that's also equally fucked up. Where she's like, hey, you hurt my family, so I'm gonna make sure that I ruin yours. And
Right.
like, again, I want to reiterate, I understand that they're bad people, but I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up.
One, I think it more drives it home when the guy they're like protecting or backing, he's like, so are you being like serious? Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna do
exactly.
all that? And she's like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah, right. Her powers, I agree. I have no idea. Like they were like, I always assume those little like, what I'm going to say is the like rings.
Yeah.
Those I always associate with two things: either some sort of psychic attack or like a psionic like sound attack. So I'm going to assume that's what it was, but that also begs to differ. They use their own kind of like sound wave attack on her and it hurts her. And I'm like, wait a minute, if that's her power, why is she weak to it?
Right.
Well, and also in that one, like she somehow shoots it out of her hands too. Whatever it is.
That's the part. I don't know if it's her like weird like brass knuckle looking things. I don't know.
Yeah. Because it looks like she has these things on her hands that like come around. So I don't know if she's just like a Batman style character of like, my superpowers, I'm rich, or if it's like she's Tony Stark. Like I'm confused as well.
I gotta be honest with you. I think it's supposed to be like an homage to that. Like it's supposed to be a Tony Stark Batman kind of like super rich billionaire, instead of her owning like a corporation that like makes things. She owns like telecoms, and she has all this tech. That's the way what I assume. But again, that wasn't really fully flushed out. And there was like a whole like Wikipedia page. That's the other thing I really like that he does at the end of each one of these issues is there's like something, the very last page is something that kind of pertains to what they talked about in the issue. So I'm trying to remember what Brian's
Well, now
was,
I just feel stupid as anything because all of her powers are fucking right here. Superhuman strength, stamina, and vulnerability, as well as projection of energy waves. The full extent of her powers is not publicly known.
Yeah, well, that's what I was leading to, is that they mention how, like, because she tells one of her assistants about how, like, edit that, like, remove that off Wikipedia, because she doesn't want people to know her powers and weaknesses for this reason, because these bad guys almost got the better of her. But I was just like, that's cool. I like that they put the Wikipedia page on it, and the next one will have the email that the kendo guy sent to all the like assassins. And I'm trying to remember what Brian. I don't think Brian had one. Yeah, the first issue didn't have one, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. On to issue 3 or chapter 3, Vendetta. Like I read it right that time.
It's actually Vignetta. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, son of a bitch. There's a new, I'm going to butcher this, so I do apologize, but Sim Art and Nicholas Mueller is the variant cover artists for this one. So want to throw them a shout out there. But we get introduced to Kiyoshi, who is known as the Purifier, and he is part of the 10, and he wears these Japanese garbs along with a mask. But there's another person who looks like they are not looks like actually they look like they're Asian as well. However,
Vietnamese.
they speak with French accent.
Yeah, she's dressed in a Vietnamese outfit.
Okay, got you. But she uses the Vietnamese hat as like a mental guard.
Yeah,
because she knows that his power, she's out to kill him.
Yeah,
And she knows that his power is that he knows who people are in the room because by his telepathic power. And so she's trying to interrupt him killing this other guy, and apparently he's been keeping the streets of Tokyo clean. So yeah, and there's a rich guy that wants Kiyoshi dead, and so that's why she got hired in to do that. And we were talking earlier about one of the cool things, seeing the things at the end of the books. You were saying, Richard, that on this one you get to see the email from the old man, basically putting the hit out for Kiyoshi.
Yeah. I wrote, this is my favorite issue. I was overly whelmed with this one. It's very Deadpool-esque.
Yes.
And I love all the inner monologues of both Purifier and Charlotte.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Her name is Charlotte
Corday.
Yes.
I like the little twist, but this felt very Deadpool. Like the first Deadpool movie when he goes in and he's like trying to learn to become Deadpool, where he's like working out what outfit he needs to wear, and he's just like killing random thugs and stuff. It felt like that. And it was his dialogue. Like, he's not as quippy as, say, like a Deadpool character, but he was still pretty funny.
Right. Jeremy?
Yeah, I will say I was pleasantly whelmed with this. I thought I enjoyed it. I did I know, again, this is just me still being somewhat, I guess not completely, but just still learning all the comic book stuff. I did get. I understand that they were like each person had their own color little boxes, but like I was getting at moments I was getting a little confused on who was supposed to be talking, which one type thing. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the fighting in this one. I enjoyed the how they, how it all came to fruition there at the end too. So
yeah, I gotta agree. Like, this is my favorite issue of the 5. Like, this was pretty fun. I like the dialogue. I like the back and forth. I like the quippiness. I like the story that it was telling. I don't know. It was just fun. So I enjoyed it. I thought the artwork was pretty decent. I'll say this one's for an indie book and for an artist. A lot of times, like, indie artists will skimp on backgrounds. And so, like, I definitely want to shout out the artist for this, because we actually do get like backgrounds in most all of our panels. There are a few that are blank, but like, I feel like sometimes they're blank on purpose, and then other times it may have just been to like either show focus or to like just kind of move on, and I'm fine with that and not overload the page. But we get a decent bit of backgrounds, so.
Yeah. I love at the start, like, it just sort of kicks off. It kind of does the tropey thing of like, well, guess you're wondering how I got into this mess kind of thing. And then it kind of goes back a couple of hours. But I do like how, like, they're at a standoff and they're like kind of saying the same thing in their heads. And they're like, everything's going to plan and everything's going to plan. And I just wrote, is everything going to plan? Because it looks like it all went to shit.
I liked it. It was almost like a video game. Like, once he was
Oh,
got
yeah.
into the building
Yeah.
and he was going up like the different levels and
Yeah.
like the people coming at him had like different weapons and whatnot like that.
He mentioned, I don't know if it was in our email that he sent to us or a description in general on his like Kickstarter, but one of the things he said that it kind of had inspiration was, I think, like Old Boy or something like that. And there's this like very famous hallway fight scene that it's one man versus a whole bunch of like thugs. And it's it happened before Daredevil, but I think it's kind of what inspired the Daredevil hallway scenes. It's very real feeling. Like it's not super choreographed. It feels like a real actual fight. And I think this is kind of what inspired a lot of those like panels for this issue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really like this issue. I'm gonna probably gush about this one the most. It felt very like the inner monologue felt very Deadpool and Rorschach. And the reason why I say that is there is a moment in this story where he straight up pulls a Rorschach moment. And it's probably for me the funniest moment because I like seeing it from, well, actually, I don't think we see it from both. We just see it from Charlotte's perspective. And he does the whole like, you think you're hunting me, but I'm hunting you. And she's like, oh God, he's going to say it. He's going to say it. And then he says it. And she's like, I got to kill this guy just on principle for being a cliche. And I thought that was really funny.
See, I thought you were going to say when he's like, it's towards the end and he's getting to the room where Charlotte is. And he's got this one guy by the throat holding him up. And he's like, who gave you these weapons? And then somebody comes up behind him and like stabs him or whatever. And he turns around and he freaking straight up Deadpool shish kebabs him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does.
And then he's like, answer me. And it's like, fucker, you just stabbed him. What do you mean answer me? You just killed him.
I mean, it gets explained, but at the time, it was one of the things that kind of tricked me because there was a lot of like him questioning people. And I was like, can't you read minds? Like, that's your whole power. Why do you need to question people?
That's true. I didn't even think
I didn't either.
that.
But then they reveal that some of the guys, the more like militarized looking guys, not the ninja guys, they're wearing like whatever, like Magneto type helmets that block out him being able to read their minds.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wears a kendo mask. I actually also like the design of him. It's just kind of like not all bog standard ninja, but I like the whatever they did for the arms on him, and then I like giving him a kendo mask as opposed to what we see in issue 5. I think the kendo mask is more interesting, and I also like the commentary that he says. He's like, "Truth is, if you're a criminal and you see someone coming at you wearing a kendo mask, that crap is terrifying," which it is.
I like when they finally like stand off and we reach the front of the first of the comic again. And you hear him and he's like, my turn, Vietnamese clothing, passable Japanese with a French accent. And she comes back, even without the mind reading, you're very observant. And he goes, that's just a warm-up. Let me guess the color of, and she's like, watch your tongue.
Yeah.
He's like, your socks. You should have taken your shot when, and then the door blows up.
Yeah. That felt very Deadpool. That felt very, very Deadpool. I loved that. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
The other thing I like is she tells the story about how like her grandma or whatever, like, had a spider up in the corner of the house. And she was like, well, don't you want to get rid of that spider? She's like, yeah, I don't like spiders, but I hate flies more.
Right.
And then at the very end of this issue, I love the like guy that is a predator of some sort. And she has finally, like, she was debating whether or not to kill the purifier because she didn't know if he was bad or good. She seems to be some sort of assassin with a moral code. And she finally realizes, okay, he actually is a decent person. And she goes to kill him. And he's like, who are you? what are you
Yeah.
people? And she's like, I guess we're spiders, and shoots him. And I thought it was a cool way to end the issue,
Yeah.
like tying
Yeah.
it into that story. I thought that was neat. Which we didn't even say the whole like he killed some mob guy's like son, and then the mob guy was like, "Hey, I'm putting a hit out on this guy for X amount of money, like a shitload of money."
Uh-huh.
All that was made up by this purifier guy as a way to just clean up the rest of the like bad mafia guys, the bad yakuza guys that were like still around, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh shit! I like totally missed that. Like fucking totally. Where is that at? What did I? How did I miss this?
I don't know because it's mentioned. I'll find it real quick.
Where?
It's during his inner monologue when he's on the 3rd floor. Someone's been after the 10 of us lately. He's like, Sentinel has disappeared. Peacekeeper tracking down some plot in America, and Iris was ambushed in her own headquarters. We don't know who's targeting us or where they're getting weapons that can actually hurt us. So I set a trap, made up a rich old man and a revenge story to lure our new enemies and some of our old ones out of hiding.
I'm so fucking stupid sometimes.
Did you like skip that page?
No, I remember reading it now, and I'm like, how the fuck did I just reading for me? Like my attention span is just it's not as soon as I read it, it's like it's gone. It's just fucking gone.
And then he's like, plus this vigilante's life has been getting boring, so setting my own death trap is a good exercise. Got to keep my steps in for the day.
Yeah.
Like there were some moments I pictured like Ryan Reynolds reading this. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Cause like these are short issues, but this one set a high standard. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And then we got the last 2 issues, and I was like, "Oh,
did that last for issue 4?"
No, it didn't. There's some things I liked about it. I thought it was cool, but
do you have anything, Jeremy?
No, I do not.
Issue 4. We didn't have a title page for issue 4, so there's that. So we're just gonna call it issue 4. But we do get introduced into Rukshita.
sorry,
Rukshika.
Rukshika.
Okay, aka Streamline. I can say that.
Yeah,
and then Priya. I can say that as well. So these look like they are what, Indian?
Yeah, probably Indian or Pakistani.
Pakistani.
Yeah.
Well,
they're in Mumbai.
They talk about being in India. So.
Okay.
But this is all about Streamline, and Streamline is one of the 10, and she's got her powers from the aliens as well. But hers is like mental projection, I guess, is the best way of, like, she can like mentally project herself into somebody else's body, and then within that person's body kind of like take over to fight people off.
Yeah. With like she can take over that person's body like asterisks with consent, or like it's almost like vampire rules. Like what I'm saying is, like, you know how like the OG vampire rules are like, hey, I can't enter in a house unless I'm invited in. So she can't enter into your mind unless you willingly let her in. Gotcha. Which I'm like, kind of sucks as far as like telepathy goes, but I get what he's doing there. I think it's still neat in some instance, and the way she uses it is quite neat.
Yeah.
And it looks like she has super strength as well. She can lift a bus.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and maybe super speed because she had to get in front of the bus.
Yeah,
some kind of way to get up there. And but it wasn't just like, I wonder if it's one of those that's not quite as strong as like Peacekeeper type thing, because she talks about struggling with it. So.
Yeah, and they even show like she is sweating when she's trying to like stop it.
Yeah.
But Priya is there to interview Streamline and do a live. And then during said live, Streamline's mother comes in to let her know that like she needs to go to bed. Streamline does take a nap and rest. And that's when like a bunch of like haters come in to then decide to go and I don't want to say take advantage because that's the wrong like for a lack of better words, take advantage of like women within the town.
Seize the moment.
Assault them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is so one of the things that I didn't know. My wife told me this. This is probably inspired by a real life thing because I had to look up, and I apologize because I'm gonna probably mispronounce this. I have it spelled out for me phonetically, but it's still I'm gonna say it's Gulabi Gang, which is translated to pink gang, and they wear pink saris and they go around because they apparently have a lot of issues with women being assaulted in India and wherever this is, and they go around beating the shit out of these men who are assaulting them with like sticks. Essentially, it's fucking crazy.
Now that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
This is a real thing, like that is going on. It was back in 2006 when it started, and it's still going on today. There's like 400,000 members across northern India.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, Jeremy, what's your whelming of this issue?
I will say that I'm whelmed about this one just because I don't know. It's about their main focus was about their live stream and to play on words there, but with her
sorry,
her character and everything. But so I thought like kind of like what we've been saying. I thought her power, like being able to use that, was interesting. It was different. It was like I'd never really seen something like that before, and I thought it was kind of cool how that worked. But yeah, I think they could have done a little better. I think you could have done maybe a little better job of explaining. It just felt kind of shallow, the storyline to it.
Richard?
I wrote I was pleasantly whelmed. I thought it was a fun little story. I like the message of it. It's very, this is one of those that, Michael, what you said with the first one, this story isn't for me. This is a story, women lifting up women. And this is very like pro, in my opinion, women. And I thought it was sweet and cool. And I liked learning the fact that it's probably more than likely inspired by a real life thing. So I thought that was kind of cool too.
Knowing that, I mean, that definitely adds another level to it. So,
and even Priya is wearing like a pink sari. So I thought maybe that was maybe even more of a like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Look at us getting all educated on this. Because I didn't know none of that. But what I did know is I was completely underwhelmed by the story, and I was glad when it was done. It's not poorly written. It's like you were saying, Richard. It's not for me, and that's fine. I appreciate the message. I appreciate what it's trying to do, but to come off of the issue 3 to this,
it was very
damn.
It was a very. I liked it. But it was a very steep drop. I will absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because like I was like, okay, all right, I'm like, I was really like 3. I was like, all right, I'm in it. Let's do it. Like we got 2 more, and then I was like, oh, this isn't as fun as the last one. This one makes me sad.
This one makes me sad. Yeah, I felt like, okay, well, we got to issue 3. All right, we got our feet. We got our bearings. Okay, that's cool. We're going to start, really progress. And then we did this. And I was like, oh, never mind.
Because, like, I mean, they do like defeat the bad guys in this. And but it was just like the fact that it's that much of a problem and that they have to have like a gang of vigilante women and then like a superhero that can like take them over is I was just like, oh, that's sad. That makes me so sad.
Well, and like I don't feel like we really paid a whole lot of attention. Like I know the book is about Streamline and what she can do,
Mm-hmm.
but like, and apparently she can like inhabit more than one woman at a time or person really at a time.
Yeah.
Which that's pretty cool. Like I don't understand why we didn't venture into that kind of like, because are all three people going to be doing the same action at the same time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah, because she has to pantomime. I didn't like that about her powers, where she has to like pantomime the moves. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. She's actually physically doing them while the other person,
like when it shows her when she's like, it's like page 96. She's like taking over an old lady, and that old lady dodges a knife attack, and it shows her on the left side of the panels, and she's dodging it, and then she dodges a punch, and then she throws a punch herself, so she physically has to do those moves. And I didn't think about it until you just said it now, but yeah, like when she took over all the people in the bus, how does that work?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, and then like the page before, like she's, and I guess whatever she does, all three have to do, because in that panel it's one guy that's got a knife and there's three women there, and all three women have the same stance.
Yeah.
So I guess it's gonna be like three punches are gonna be thrown. Somebody needs to stand out of the way, because there's gonna be friendly fire. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Like
there's gonna be like only 3 punches thrown, but like probably only one of them's gonna land.
No, I think what she should do is just kick all three women, kick him in the dick. one is enough to take a man down. You get 3 all at once, that man goes to the hospital is what happens.
Oh, that's funny.
So like one thing I was kind of wondering about it, and it kind of goes back to dealing a little bit with the first issue with Peacekeeper. I almost said the Peacemaker too, but do their powers kind of, it seems like they kind of dwindle fast, like if they don't get the, like, because he was talking about in the first issue about like how it took a lot out of him or something like that, of like what he was doing. And so I don't know, but then of course her mom talking about like her needing to get rest, and so I just was kind of curious if like if it drains their energy a lot.
I never once got that, but
yeah.
I mean, like it doesn't mention it in the other ones, but it was in the first one where he said something. It was whenever he was about to be going back up to take care of the drone, like how much it like took out of him.
Well, and even in this issue that we're on, like the whole setup was her having to go and take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that her mom explains that it's like she's constantly like essentially on patrol, even when she's not like, you know, physically on patrol. She's like mentally taking over someone and doing something. So it's like, you don't sleep, get some sleep.
Yeah.
But I assumed with Peacekeeper it was just, you know, it was a missile. Maybe he's not like to Superman's level. But
well, it just talks about, because I found the panel, it just where it talks about him. He said, caught every bullet, no strays left to hit bystanders, all the guns taken out, no one got hit. Moving that fast takes a lot out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's probably just like, you know, if you were to, I don't know. For me, it'd be if you were to run up the stairs to get something. It takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
Or peeling an orange.
Yes. Or peeling an orange. That's really all I have. The only thing I liked of note of this issue that I like kind of made me chuckle was when they were doing the live stream and she's getting questions from like her viewers or whatever. There's one person it says at how heavy was that bus? Wants to know how heavy was that bus? And I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. Issue 5, titled Shockwaves. This is like their first meeting as a team, or their first assignment as a team. We get to finally meet the character Sentinel, which is actually, we haven't talked about it at all, but is hinted throughout the entire series as far as like Sentinels, for whatever reason, gone missing. And he seems more of like the leader of this 10 group. Very like Duke from G.I. Joe kind of like vibes.
I thought you were going to say Duke Nukem because he kind of looks like that too.
And yeah, just like basically going off of that, like their first mission and then their last one, and how they kind of went rogue to do their own thing. And then we get left with this like stinger of what's going on with Sentinel these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to give my whelming on this one, I was whelmed to pleasantly whelmed. I mean, it was cool seeing them fight, kind of working together. Like I said at the beginning, I wish it would have explained more of like these other new characters that came in there, what their powers were and how they were. Like, I mean, I wish there's a little bit more. And I'm guessing, obviously, seeing as how he did these first 5, I'm guessing in the next ones he's going to have other stories that are just focused on those other characters, maybe. But yeah, so I wish there was that, so then we could really kind of understand and have a little bit more of a grasp of it. But yeah, I mean, it was neat seeing their first mission and their last one, and then the whole cliffhanger at the end was interesting. I mean, it was definitely one that was like, ooh, I wonder, kind of want to know what's happening now to him.
Yeah, I wrote I was whelmed because I didn't really kind of enjoy this story all that much. Like there was some cool action, but it just wasn't cool enough for me. And the only thing I really liked was again another kind of like hook stinger at the end that I won't get the answer to. I was hoping by this 5th issue we would at least get some clue to who is after the 10.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm whelmed with this. The whole like stage presence and all that jazz, I wasn't here for that at all. I like getting to see the other 10 and like their powers. However, it felt like it jumped around a bunch here, and I don't feel like I could really. It felt like as soon as I got to looking at one, I was going to another one, and like I didn't get a clear view of like who has what powers, and like some of them I'm like, this dude looks cool. Maybe he's got a really cool power, but then that doesn't get fleshed out.
Yeah.
And I don't like how they slowed things down. Like going into the mindscape to talk and just shoot the shit, it seemed like. I felt like some of the dialogue was cheesy as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. I can see that. This is the one, Jeremy, that I think jumped around way too much.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we slow down for a minute and kind of take in some of the stuff that's going on? The powers, yeah, they kind of give you enough, except for one. There's one guy, I wrote him down real quick. His name is Javed Mustafa. I think his superhero name is Shundar. He just wears like a suit with like a sash, and then he has a briefcase. Like, I don't know what his power is. Like, at one point, there's like men who are like gunning him down, and he's just holding a briefcase blocking the shots. And I'm like, what is going on here?
But does he turn into a knight with a flaming sword, though?
No, that's a different person.
That's a whole nother person?
Yeah, because you can see him. I'm
Fuck
pretty sure.
this.
Wait, hang on.
I wanted him to be the knight with the sword.
Hang on, maybe I'm wrong.
That shit would have been cool.
Maybe I'm wrong. There's a whole lineup of them. No, yeah, the guy with the knight. Like, if you look at the cover issue, he's got that pink. He's next to Streamline, and then the knight with the flaming sword is behind him.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at another panel now, and I see him.
Yeah.
There's two separate characters. Man, no, that man should have been a knight. That would have been cool as shit.
I
If he
thought
pulled a sword out of his satchel and he like grew armor. Now I'm just giving fucking ideas away, but still, that would have been so fucking cool.
that would have been cool. No, I was like, what is this guy's power? To do taxes? Like, why does he have a briefcase? Like, what? Yeah, like, is this even a superhero? Is he just going to work? Like, what the hell's going on? Like,
Oh man, damn it.
one guy was really cool to me. I don't know, maybe this is speaking ill of your favorite X-Men, Michael, but he gave me very Gambit vibes, even though he didn't have Gambit powers. But I'm assuming it's Liu is how you say his name. He's the
Guy
guy
with the trench coat.
yeah, the guy with the trench coat and the like thin mustache and like
Yes!
soul patch looking beard.
Yes,
I was like, this kind of reminds me of Gambit, in my opinion.
because the glowing green eye. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, it does have Gambit vibes, and I liked him too. Like I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I want to know what powers he has. All he does is stand there with these green ass eyes glowing, and they're like, "Fuck this!" and they all turn around and run away. And I'm
Yeah.
like, "What? What
Yeah.
are we doing?"
I thought maybe he controlled them because, again, most of them have some sort of telepathy, but it's never really stated.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, my favorite character so far has been the Purifier. I don't like his first costume. He looks just like bog standard ninja man. Like he looks like Snake Eyes from G.I.
Yeah,
Joe. Since you
That's what I was
mentioned
gonna say.
since you mentioned Duke, like
yeah.
maybe that was inspiration, but it was just kind of nothing to me. I liked is it Stargazer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe I liked her costume. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
She and I guess Peacekeeper are kind of the heavy hitters here.
It's Stargazer though is very reminiscent of like Monica Rambeau, like Photon.
Yeah,
Like major vibes there from that.
agreed. Yes, absolutely. That costume, that symbol, everything.
Yeah. Well, and even like speaking on that, I get like Viper vibes or
Oh, yeah. Of Iris?
yeah, of Iris.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping to see more costumed people, but that's just me. I guess
Yeah,
some
I
of the
was too.
people don't necessarily have a costume, and especially since this was like their first mission, they didn't. Maybe this is just a stereotype, but I'm assuming the Russian guy has some sort of radioactive power.
Why is this?
Just because he has green glowy hands,
Oh, where's the green glow? I gotta find this.
and he shoots like big like energy blasts that are kind of greenish looking to me.
Oh, you're talking about Duke.
Yes, Duke. Yeah, he's the Russian guy. He's
Who I call Duke.
yeah. His name he's the Sentinel, but his name is Pyotr, I think, which is Peter for Russian, or it's Russian for Peter. And anyway,
Chanov.
do what?
Pyotr Chanov.
Yes. And anyway, I just assumed, Chernobyl and everything. I was like,
That's
does he
yeah,
have radioactive powers?
That's yeah. I mean, he definitely looks like he shoots some blasts out of his fist.
Mhm.
So, with that being the case, though, at the end of the book, that man got somehow, and he's laid up on a table, and they just kill him and then bring him back to life. For what reason? I have no idea.
Yeah, that was the coolest twist because I really didn't like the like fights, and I mean it was
Yeah.
nice seeing their like first mission backstory, and I get that like thematically for the end of your first volume, maybe you want to see that and tell that story. But yeah, that was the part that I was like, they were like, well, maybe he's retired and wherever he is, he's living the good life. And I was just like, I wrote, oh shit, when they were experimenting on him and they're like, time of death is blah, blah, blah. And then the next page is time of regeneration or resurrection. And I was like, oh shit, they're like
Yeah.
killing him and bringing him back or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, that's fucked up.
And he looks very Frankensteinish. Like,
Uh-huh.
and I
Yeah.
don't mean like body part wise, but like his eyes and like his face, like
Yeah.
he's definitely in agony, and it doesn't look like there's life there.
Yeah. I'm assuming the eyes are like that glowing, like green energy of his.
Yeah, maybe so.
But yeah, the last page is again like one of those like pages that deals with like certain parts of the story, and it's like a summary report of project, and I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Atanatoi, which is Greek for immortals, which I was like, okay, so now this really feels like Eternals.
Well, Richard, would you recommend anybody read this story?
If you are interested, or if you're really interested in indie books, and like what I'll say is, I think this guy does a great job of the last panel. I know I typically kind of get mad at or not last panel, but the last page sort of twist
Yeah.
to like hook you for the next issue. But I have to give Christopher props. In my opinion, most of his ones were really good. Like his last page, little like into the issue was like, oh, now I want to read more of this, or I want to find the answer to whatever this is.
Yeah.
Until he has the answers, I don't know if I would say
Yeah.
you should read this, but I definitely would check it out if you like indie books. I personally, my favorite of them all is the third one. I can't gush about that enough.
Yeah.
I like some of the stories that he told. I like the message behind most of them, and I think, yeah, I think I would maybe recommend it. I like. It's a hard one for me because it's not my favorite, and I don't.
Yeah.
Christopher, I really appreciate you sending this to us. It's
Yeah.
not anything against you. It's just this one was cool in some aspects, but one of the issues was my favorite. But a lot of them kind of, I don't know, left me wanting more. And I am hoping you will get backers and you do get to tell more of your story, because I definitely want to see more comics out there. I like your writing. I think your writing is very well done, in my opinion. And I think, if the whole Harvard teaching isn't working out for you, maybe you can go get a job with Image or Marvel or DC.
Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna go ahead and go, because I feel like me and Richard have like the same kind of mindset, and I want to kind of piggyback off of his. And I feel like if I'm speaking out of line for you, Richard, then please like stop me or whatever. But for me, I don't feel like the story was bad, and I don't feel like the writing is bad. I don't feel like the art's bad. But when it comes to recommending it, I don't know that I know anybody I could recommend it to, is what it boils down to. I feel like this book is for a certain, like, I feel like this is a niche book, is what I'm getting at. And so, like, if I was to recommend it to somebody, like, I feel like it would have to be somebody who's very much into like social politics, things like that. I feel like they would really get an appreciation for the book, for the messages that it's trying to tell, and all that other jazz. But for like my little nerdy comic book friends that I talk to, like, I just don't think we're that deep.
Yeah. I have people that would probably like this, but then again, I don't know. They don't like comics really. So,
that does make a difference.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that's my issue, is like I have people who are absolutely like super into social politics and everything going on right now, and would absolutely probably enjoy this read. And that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it, but I just don't know, man. I like I'm just going to say, yes, I would recommend it with an asterisk. I know I've already given mine, but I'm just going back to mine for a second.
Yeah, mine is if I knew the person, if I was talking to somebody and it came to mind, like our conversation was leading that way, I'd say,
Mhm.
hey, there's this book, you should check it out. Outside of that, it's mad at me. Like I'm not the audience for this.
Yeah.
Like that's all it boils down to. I'm just not the audience for this, and I think that's okay. So I wish him good luck, and I appreciate him thinking of us and sending this our way and letting us do it, because that's pretty cool and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So Jeremy.
Ditto. No, I'm just kidding. No. If I would recommend this, like, for me, it's kind of hard to recommend it, because like I just, if we had the full, I feel like I'm missing, like, if we had the full thing, I could give a better idea of recommending it. Like,
Yeah.
with such a lack of the connection between everything.
Yeah.
And I think that could play into it in the long term. And I agree with what both of you were saying, as far as like, I enjoyed his writing, and I thought the artwork was done really well. I mean, it was done well. And I don't know that I could recommend just these 5. And
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
gets to the point of where he finishes it, and maybe he has, I don't know for sure if he has finished it or not, but if he wraps it all up and it brings it all together, I mean, that really helps it. Yes, I like the streamline one still. I mean, like, it was like we had said, it was a fun little read, just not necessarily what hooked us in, and obviously
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that, but it was still, I still enjoyed reading that story. So I think, like I said, if it wraps it all up in a nice little bow at the end and bringing all this together, it would help out with this. But just these 5, I don't know that I could necessarily recommend it, and like, with just what I have in front of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It still was a good thing, a good storyline. I wish there was more. I do wish there was a little bit more of the whole, like, the thing about them, somebody messing with the 10. I kind of wish it was like in each issue. Like, I know we got like in the kind of in with the third one, and then kind of in the, like, the first one there. But I kind of wish they still kind of would bring in a little bit more, just to kind of build up a little bit. And like what Richard had said before, as far as like giving some kind of idea of like who this might be, like, just
Right.
kind of letting you in on a little bit, to just to really keep you in there in the game with them, and wanting to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, overall right now with what I have, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but there's part of me that still would like to see the rest of it finished up
Yeah.
and see.
Cool. Well, once again, thank you, Christopher, and all the other workers on this book. We appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity to do this. Next week, SDCC is coming up. Marvel is back at Hall H. I think there's going to be some cool shit that goes down. So y'all come back. We're going to be talking about that. And if nothing else, the fucking Doomsday trailer came out today.
Oh, did it?
So
I didn't know that.
do what?
Did it? I didn't know the Doomsday trailer came out. I'm messing with you. That's
I specifically sent out a text.
No, I know. I'm messing with you. Like, everybody's been talking about it. So I was like, I was making a joke.
Yeah. I'm too fucking tired for jokes.
That's true. You have been doing a live. You've been.
Anyways, come back next week. Let's do some SDCC with at least Marvel, since James Gunn was like, fuck SDC. I can do the same thing on Twitter. So, in the meantime, Jeremy, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. That's Night with a K, and you can find me here.
Awesome. Richard?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, a Blue Skies, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, Night like day and night, and Curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, possibly TikTok, we'll see, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram, eBay, and Shortbox22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 Comics. Thank y'all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. Well, all being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Goodbye, Jeremy. Goodbye.